This is a transgender comedian by the name of Stacy K. And right now, Stacy K is in deep doo-doo with a lot of women about former female athlete Payton McNab.
Another girl they're trying to make a...
Okay, hold up, shoulders McGrolders. What in the linebacker is going on right now? I mean, you may have thought that you were giving a broad shoulders, but instead it's reading as broad shoulders. And quick question, are those knees available in a more feminine style? Because if anything is in need of some gender-affirming care, it's those manly kneecaps. Maybe try injecting your estrogen directly into them because clearly that's your trouble spot. I mean, we've all heard of the bee's knees, but those are more like the he's knees. Am I right? And the other thing that bothers me is that you don't appear to be obese, but those are most definitely cankles. Also, those feet. This is what happens when you shove a man's foot into a woman's shoe. You end up with those fat Miss Piggy feet. And why are you dressed like a maid? Am I watching a stand-up show or is this a live reenactment of Clue? Because I think I may have solved the mystery. The maid did it with a microphone at the comedy club. Anyway, sorry to get distracted. There's just a lot going on right now. Let's hear them out from the beginning. Take it from the top.
Another girl they're trying to make the face of the anti-trans movement. Her name is Payton, and she's the girl who got hit in the head with a volleyball by a trans woman.
Okay, now I have a problem with the content because Payton McNab is not somebody they're trying to make the face of the anti-trans movement. Payton McNab is just unfortunately a young girl that got injured when they allowed a male to play in female high school sports, and now she's chosen to speak out about it. But go on.
While she was playing volleyball, right? Crazy.
For anybody that doesn't get the joke, the implication there is that it's not uncommon for a volleyball player to get hit in the head with a volleyball while playing volleyball, which is not incorrect. But the problem is that had this female volleyball player not been spiked with male strength, things probably wouldn't have turned out the way that they turned out.
They bring her to hearings. The whole argument is she suffered catastrophic brain damage, right? That she'll never recover from. She'll never be able to have a normal life. And this is with her in the room. They're like, look how slow she is. She'll never be able to drive.
And I saw people online getting mad at the audience for laughing, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are a lot of Stacy K's friends in the audience right now, because that's just the nature of the way a lot of these shows work. So when you consider that and you consider the politically correct factor, it would be considered not politically correct and in bad form to not laugh at a trans comic. And the other thing is, I don't think that this audience realizes the extent to which this messed up Payton McNab's life and exactly how serious this was. And I will admit that Stacy K does a really good job of delivering this in a really dismissive way. And also you have to factor in that Stacy K has already set up that Payton McNab is the new face of the anti-trans movement. So given the facts that Stacy K is delivering it in a very dismissive way and making it sound like Payton McNab is stupid and also has effectively villainized Payton, not only does this audience think that it's okay to laugh, they think that they should laugh at this bigot because this bigot does deserve it.
And they don't ever want to show the clip of what happened because it's pretty funny, actually. It's a 7-second clip. And it's a girl, it's a trans girl, presumably, I'm told, goes up to do a spike, and I can't tell she's trans. Her form is perfect. She looks good at sports, right?
In case you missed it, that was an attempt at a joke implying that trans women aren't good at sports, in an effort to set up that trans women are harmless in women's sports because they're just girls too. And the reason that I point all of this out is because for a lot of people, they may not like Stacy, and they may not like that Stacy is doing this joke about Payton. But I don't think a lot of people really noticed how manipulative the wording in this set is.
And then there's Payton sitting back like, I don't know, 6 feet from the net, flat-footed with her hands down like this. And then she just gets hit right in the head and falls over like a toddler.
And this is clearly her way of trying to completely discredit Payton McNab as an athlete. Sort of to say that Payton really had no business playing the sport anyway, so it's really not a loss that she got injured and she can no longer play. Make her sound completely incompetent and like she wasn't an actual athlete, which is truly insulting. And you're not slick, Stacy, but let's go on.
And I'm like, oh, she was really like this before.
Teasing like she was going to use the word retarded and then changes it to, she was really like this before. Amateurs.
I don't know if there's a nice way to say this, but she should have been wearing a helmet. She shouldn't have been out there with the normal people.
And that is what Stacy K has referred to on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, as her best work. What's up, everybody? Ty Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Before we go any further, I'm just going to ask that you do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the hype button. I don't know exactly what it does, but I hear that it helps. And also, before we go any further, just so you have a little bit of context, let me show you the incident that Stacy is describing in case you hadn't already seen it.
Injured in a high school volleyball game by a transgender athlete on the opposing team. I suffered from a concussion and neck injury.
And if you paid attention during that clip, you can literally see the impact that Payton McNab's head and neck had to endure during that spike from a biological male while playing in female sports. And keep in mind, this was 2 years ago, but let me read to you some of what Payton still deals with. Years later, my body and mind are still recovering from the hit. I still suffer from partial paralysis on my right side, vision problems, cognitive issues, constant headaches, and more. And also let me tell you that while I know right now a lot of women are mad at Stacy K for making fun of Payton McNab's tragedy, I think that she kind of gave them a gift, and I'll explain why. So I'll start off by telling you that I've been doing stand-up comedy for 23 years now. And as a matter of fact, I've got a show coming up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on New Year's Eve. If anybody wants to check that out, I'll put a link as the pinned comment. Neither here nor there when it comes to the story, just figured I'd throw that in. What I was trying to get at though, and the reason that I mentioned how long I've been doing stand-up, is that I am a true stand-up comic, so I think anybody can joke about anything. So I do not have a problem or question Stacy K's right to do any joke that Stacy K wants to do. I personally have said many things in my sets that some people would consider insensitive or some people may not have liked. So just to be 100% clear, I am 100% in support of any comedian being able to say absolutely anything that they want to say on stage. But just because you can say anything that you want to say doesn't mean that that's going to help your cause. And I have paid attention to Stacy K on social media for a while now, because at a point Stacy K had hit me up because they didn't like my phrasing on something I had said. And I won't go into what I said, but I will tell you I wasn't very nice about it. We'll leave that at that for right now. But what I will tell you is that what I noticed from Stacy K's social media presence is that Stacy wants to be very pro-trans. And this does absolutely nothing to help the trans community. Actually, it hurts the trans community, and it really does help out women that are in favor of keeping males out of female sports. Because trans in women's sports is already such an unpopular issue, and that's pretty well bipartisan. It's like 70-30, and this clip has gone so viral that I wouldn't put it past any anti-trans politician or person that doesn't want trans women in female sports to clip it and capitalize on it, which will in turn bring more eyes to Payton's story. And I can guarantee you from having talked about this for the last several years now, that there are a lot of people in the general public that have not heard Payton McNab's story, don't even know the name Payton McNab. But if they did, I think it really would persuade a lot of the fence sitters on this issue, because there is no story that better illustrates why biological males don't belong in female sports than Payton McNab's story. And this clip also shows how little regard Stacy K has for the injury and suffering of a female athlete, which can be translated out to trans women don't care about women. Now, do I personally think trans women don't care about women? No, I don't. I know a lot of trans women personally that very much do care about women and also don't believe that trans women belong in female sports. But the average person doesn't. And so the same way that Stacy K was able to manipulate that audience into thinking that Payton McNab is the new face of anti-trans, Stacy K can easily be turned into the face of trans women are anti-women. And if everybody on the anti-trans side, which is really the common sense side, because honestly, there are the people that are anti-trans that are all about this. But for the most part, it really is a lot of people that are very much like, live your life, do what you want to do, but just don't hurt females in the process. Don't take over female sports. Don't be in female spaces. That's really where a lot of the people are coming from. But it comes off as anti-trans to the activists and to the people like Stacy K. So that's why Stacy K has these hard feelings and this vitriol towards Payton McNab, because that's the way that she sees Payton McNab. That's the way she wants to paint Payton McNab, because that's what serves Stacy K's purpose. But what Stacy K doesn't realize is that Stacy K really did throw a wrench in the pro-trans side of the argument. And I honestly do believe in my heart of hearts that if everybody does everything the right way, this can be very helpful in the battle to keep biological males out of female sports. But that's just where I'm at on it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you want to see a video of me talking about a trans man that's suing the prison system because he wasn't able to do a job, click the video on your screen. Other than that, as always, thank you for watching. This has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.